There are barriers that we're aware of, like it's scary to tell your 7-year-old that somebody has a brain tumor. There are barriers, and I call those personal or emotional barriers. There are logistical barriers. I'm at the hospital with my spouse. My children are an hour away at home. I need to be talking to them. I don't really want to do it on the phone, and I'm not there, so what do I do? And then there are institutional barriers, which might be nobody under the age of 12 can go above the first floor. H1N1 is a risk, so no children can visit the hospital, those kinds of things. So if you would just take a minute and raise your hand if you can think of any barriers that either have actually gotten in the way for you or you can imagine would get in the way for somebody. Throw them out and we'll make a list, because that, to some degree, that's going to be where we work from, although we're going to cover other information too. So does anybody?
Just have, like you said, not having your children be allowed in the hospital when you're in for surgery.
Okay, so just...
My children felt separated just by that.
So being physically separate. Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else with any?
Communication.
And tell me more.
Maybe
what gets
not
in?
really knowing what's going on, like when you're not there, what was said and everything, and then being confused about just what has been said and done, and wondering why this, what's happening now.
So if you're not with your children,
right? Like I know, like there'd be sometimes if I was at school, or like decisions would be made, or things would be said, and then I would get there and be like, wait, what?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, so events happened, you weren't present, and you were, even though you're an adult, you were the child?
Yeah.
Okay, so things happened and kids aren't present and you have to play catch up. And sometimes the catch up doesn't happen automatically because you don't realize you've missed something until you hear somebody make a sentence, say a sentence or something, and you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? So trying to figure out when you need to play catch up with information and how to do that. What makes you hold your breath, catch your...
I felt like for 18 months, well, I had other people raising my 2 children. I had a 5-year-old and an 11-year-old at the time.
Okay.
And I couldn't spend any time with them. I know a couple of us here went through that.
Okay.
And then how to rectify it.
Okay. Because you were needing to get your care and you just had to...
My husband's. I was the caregiver.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was
taking
he
care
was
of your
my
husband.
priority,
Mm-hmm.
and my children were, I couldn't, yeah.
It was hard to be
take care of them.
10 people at once, right?
Yeah.
Right, right. So just limited time with your kids and they were someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
For me personally, it's framing the situation in a positive light for the children
Mm-hmm.
and blocking out other people's opinion and view of it.
Okay.
And keeping that frame for them
Mm-hmm.
so that it helps everyone.
Mm-hmm. So being able to present the information in a way that you wanted them to hear it.
In a positive form.
And keeping
It's
it positive.
very difficult when there's friends, family, physicians,
Right.
you name it. They funnel information,
Mhm.
and you have to constantly reframe it
Mm-hmm. For
to
kids.
the way that it's positive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So keeping information positive and letting your kids hear your message as
Exactly.
opposed to all the other messages coming in. Anybody else? How about just the words get stuck in your throat and the thought of looking your child in the eye and saying, I have a brain tumor, or your mom or dad has a brain tumor, you just can't imagine saying those out loud because you can't believe it yourself. So if you can't believe it yourself, how can you tell your child? Is kind of stuck in your throat resonate with anybody? Okay. I'm going to list some that I've heard from other groups and patients with whom I've worked. Because sometimes you know what you need to say, you just literally can't imagine having those words come out of your mouth, and you know you need to do it, but it's too overwhelming. Any last barriers?
I had the opposite problem with my kids because I tried to be very positive and told them my doctor does 100 of these surgeries a week, and my kids were very upset with me because they felt I wasn't honest with them when I came back, and I was emotionally out of it, physically out of it, and they were really scared and felt that I wasn't honest enough with them when I should have prepared them better. But I honestly didn't know I would be in the shape that I was for a few months either.
After surgery. Okay. So one barrier is maybe the unknown. I mean, in the uncertainty, it's hard to prepare for something you didn't know was going to happen. And so how do you go back and revisit that with kids and help them understand, that they knew what you knew at the time, and now you all have new information?